There's one nation in the world that's supposed to be a symbol for liberty and freedom. It's the United States of America. But more and more, we are seeing signs of authoritarianism creep into American society. Our education system and officials and activists on the left have created almost an equivalency between our system based on individual liberty and initiative and Marxism. My next guest knows real communism because she's seen it and she escaped it. And she's getting concerned, too, about America. She defected from North Korea in 2007 before eventually moving to the United States in 2014. Yeonmi Park is a renowned speaker and author of While Time Remains, a North Korean defector's search for freedom in America. And she joins me now. Thank you so much for being with us and to tell your story to an audience that in America here that needs to hear it. Briefly tell us why you risked your life to leave North Korea, where unfortunately so many others still suffer under that regime.
When I was escaping from North Korea, I actually did not even know the word freedom because that concept just didn't exist. The only reason that I was escaping was because I was hungry and starving. And I was escaping to go to China to looking for a bowl of rice. And eventually that journey led me to freedom and come to America.
Yeonmi, lately here in the U.S., there are many people in the education profession, for instance, they're not teaching about communism being a system of evil as you know it to be. In fact, quite the opposite. Recently in Colorado, the teachers union there voted to condemn capitalism, which they say is responsible for the exploitation of children, systemic racism, and a whole bunch of other stuff. How shocking is it that these types of attitudes seem to be becoming more and more commonplace here in a place that's supposed to be a beacon of freedom?
Yeah, I think this is what shocked me the most is that people living under actual communism, as I said, they don't even know that they're oppressed. And I come to America and meet these people at Columbia University and telling me how they're oppressed because the society does not recognize their 10,000 different pronouns. And for them, that's the definition of oppression. And at Columbia, what shocked me the most was also how professors were teaching them and telling them that all the problems that we have in the world is because of capitalism and because of Western civilization. The anti-freedom, anti-American, anti-capitalism sentiment that was exactly the same, the things like that my North Korean teacher taught me. The only difference was that in North Korea, if we did not believe this propaganda, we are all going to be executed. And in America, this kind of national suicide committed by voluntarily. Nobody's putting a gun to them, but they choose to commit a national suicide.
Yeah, people don't realize what they have here. And of course, they're being indoctrinated, as you pointed out, by prestigious universities saying that America and our system is the root of the ills of the world. In your book, your book is called While Time Remains. You talk about how authoritarian tendencies are beginning to appear in a free American culture quite a lot. What needs to happen for Americans to get back on the right path here, Yeonmi, to understand the true designs of communism and just how evil things like communism and socialism really are?
So when I came to America, I was really, I couldn't understand how the people who were born in freedom, day one, and do not understand what it means to be American and what it means to free. And when I actually became a citizen last year, my interviewer asked me, have I ever persecuted anybody for their political opinion? If I said yes, I could not become American. How many American institutions right now persecuting people for their political opinions? That's a very un-American thing to do. Yeah. You need to strip your citizenship for that if you do that. But the cancel culture is prevalent. So many people get censored and canceled and lose their jobs and dignity and their characters being assassinated. So I think for Americans to really learn what founding fathers meant by being free. Freedom means responsibility. It means a discipline. It's not anarchy. Just you can do whatever thing you want and being a homeless and being assaulting other people. It's a responsibility, and people are losing that. And the entitlement that people are having in America shocks me because they don't really understand. There are people right now, 4 billion people in the world right now who are not free. They are living in countries like China, North Korea, Venezuela, and Cuba. People have no voice. And there are people are sold for $200. My mother who was sold for $65 in China in the 21st century. And they are talking about the oppression that is happening in America and not understanding what that word means even.
That is one of the reasons why I think the left's rhetoric has become so caustic and so dangerous because we don't realize just how precious and how, as you point out, fragile freedom really is. Thank you so much, Yeonmi Park. We appreciate you being here. And folks, check out her book, While Time Remains. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.